Good morning. Excuse me. That's a nice start, isn't it? Good morning. Welcome, everybody. So it's kind of getting up time in the house. Well, for normal people, I wake up at stupid o'clock generally these days. But I did manage to stay in my pit. Oh, I've got the windows out. I've got the doors open just to have fresh air. But I think that's the wind I can hear. Incredibly, after I knew, because everybody was complaining about the heat. It was sticky heat and it was hot at the weekend. But I was like, it's going Monday. Like, you're complaining, but kind of, so make the most. Drying your washing outside, being able to, for me, as somebody who feels the cold all the time, being able to be outside in the evening, just in a top and just not even, just feel warm. Oh God, suits me right down to the ground. Apologies for anybody it doesn't. So we had a birthday picnic on Saturday for Maud's birthday. It was her birthday yesterday, but we had a birthday picnic Saturday, and it was hot. We sat in the shade, but walking home in the early evening, I just loved it. That I was just in a t-shirt. Sorry, I'll get into the actual video in a bit. Yes, something I discovered on that picnic. Right, let's treat this as an intro. And I'm going to then talk about, in this video, hang on, I did write 3 things down that I thought, yeah, let's talk about those. Look how bare the walls and shelves are in here. Getting ready for moving and decluttering. Oh yeah, so I'll give you an update on the flat, a bit of a mental health update, and a reselling update. But yes, let me finish my ramble. So, yes, one of the things Maud wanted to do was roller skate in the park, because there's lots of smooth paths. I've got roller boots. I was like, yeah, we haven't been for ages, let's check our roller boots. And I just felt I wasn't enjoying it as much this time. Like a year ago, I was still fine roller booting. I'm like, right, 51, you're fine. 52, something's happened. Like, you're not fine roller booting anymore. I felt constantly like I was going to fall over and take my skin off. I fell once onto the grass, so that was okay. But I know it's better as you get most things. Like, I think skiing's like this. Ice skating, I feel safer skiing or ice skating because you're wrapped up in clothing. And of course, I just had shorts and t-shirt on. I can't remember what I had on, but shorts anyway. And yeah, so going to flog the rear rollers. My roller booting days are over, but nothing else that's fun. Yes, right. So that was just we'll treat that as an intro. I need to have a slurp of my tea as well. Oh, this is nice. I can feel it's so cool. It's unbelievable. It's been so warm, and that is cool. I feel like it's going to be winter quilt back on tonight. Yeah, sorry about that. Flat update. Oh, actually, let's continue the intro before I get into the flat update. I want to say thank you to everybody. I always say thank you a lot these days because there's a lot of thanking to be done. But thank you for all the comments on the videos, and I know it's an American phrase, but like reaching out. It's not just on videos. People are like reaching out on other bits of social media, and it's I've had so much reassurance for the pickle I'm in at the moment, and how it's a struggle, and so much reassurance that so many people have said, Shelley, you are going through lots of major life changes, and take care of yourself, give yourself a break. Like, it would be weird if you weren't. This wasn't challenging, and just general love, really. It's been that sounds really cack, but I'm trying to convey kind of, it's really helped me and I really appreciate it. Yeah, so much support from having put these videos out, which is good for me because I get to offload, but I didn't expect all the support and people's opinions, good opinions. It really helps me for people that aren't me or, living with me, or to be able to go, oh, I've been watching you for a while now and this is what I think. And it's really helped me. So thank you so much. Right. I do appreciate it. Also, especially as, like I said, some people came for the reselling and stayed, some people came for the reselling and left. So if you've just joined, welcome. You don't really know so much about what the channel used to be like. It was a lot different. So, right, so yeah, flat update. I mean, not a huge amount to update, offs. So we're at the stage. So the inquiries have been answered by. So my solicitor sent out. This is what happens. The inquiries to the vendor's solicitor, the guy selling the flat. They've finally been answered. Took frickin' weeks. Did I? Yeah. So my solicitor did send me an information sheet. My solicitor didn't even. I don't know where she got this from. This isn't my original solicitor. This is another one that I got by accident. God knows what happened there. She said, oh, I was under the impression it was a new build. So I, mailed and said, right, the building itself was built in 1876. It was converted to flats a number of years ago, before the vendor owned them. There are no further works to be carried out. There are, she just had totally wrong information. I just like, well, I clearly never gave you that information, nor did anybody else, because they're not new builds. Oh, so, right, well, that changes things. Well, yeah, well, could you sort that out then? Because, that's no one's fault, but, right. So yeah, lots of things I was able to point out to her. Like, the weirdest thing is the management company. So we'll all have the flats that are there. There's 2 in this development. It's like a muse. There's so these old villas were converted some time back, and there's 2 like terraced houses within it and 6 flats across like this muse. And the solicitor tried to say to me that the management company would cover all 8 properties, and I said, well, I don't think so. Because obviously 2 are houses, they'll be freehold. They won't need to be part of the management company. And she said, well, that's my understanding, and if you find out differently, please let me know. So I thought, right, I'll just go through the estate agent and say, can you just confirm how many are in this management company? 6, yeah, as I thought. So I had to go back and say, well, 6, because obviously 2 are houses. Why wouldn't a solicitor know that? This is not a cheap solicitor. Anyway, right, sorry, that's the moan about the flat. Yesterday I must have sent 3 emails saying, so what else is required? And I thought, no, I'm not, at least acknowledge my email. I think that there were 3 that ended with, so what are the requirements? What else do you need? What else are we waiting for? Better get an email back this morning. She can't get hold of her by phone either. And that's the flat update. I bollocks all at the moment. Bollocks all. Right, sorry if you're new and you don't realise about the swearing on this channel. It's a thing. Bollocks. Right, if I feel better. So, do I feel better for that? I think slightly. Bollocks. Right, it's out now. Okay, I'll make. So, right, what else do I need to update on? Oh, a small mental health update. So yesterday I was back in my pit. Oh, I've had an offer. I was back in my pit, struggling yesterday. yeah, more biscuits were consumed. What was I? An entire packet of chocolate digestives the last time I was fully in the pit. Yesterday it was custard creams. It's that thing though, isn't it? I drink tea and I'm a dunker. You know, you can just dunk. It's the same as when I used to work at the computer, at the big computer. I could get like, you know, like a box of Maltesers or something, Bob. But, you know, they just go in, don't they? I had salad for tea, if that helps, if that makes anyone feel better. I mean, me, I suppose. It should make me feel better. I had salad after a packet of custard creams and some Terry's chocolate orange, which reminded me of Christmas. So it wasn't meant to be about my day of eating. It was meant to be about, well, yeah, mental health. So yesterday however, it was Maud's birthday. So I woke up at silly o'clock yesterday. So I thought, well, I'll try and go and get a nap during the day before she comes back from school so we can do presents and whatever she wants to do after school because, you know, obviously it's her birthday. So I did get up and she got home. And she had a nice time. And I cooked for her what she wanted for a tea. So, what else to say? Something I'm starting to think with me, I'd be interested in people's opinions on this, is my mental health seems very tied up with energy levels. And I don't know if it's like that chicken and egg thing, but when I'm tired and I had a full-on weekend, because we had Maud's birthday picnic Saturday, and then Sunday we were doing our kind of annual boat trip down the river with friends, where a friend is very good at hires a boat. It's like it's got a couple of bedrooms, it's got a full kitchen, that kind of boat. Not a full barge, but a boat anyway. And we go down the river for the day, you know, and just take picnic on board and whatnot. So it was a full-on weekend, and I feel like I've not been myself because usually I'd have had a right good drink on both of those events, and all I had was a few miniature like doubles of gin, and I don't know how this sounds, but all I had was a few double gins and tonics on Saturday afternoon. That's not drinking for me. Anyway, I had a low amount of alcohol for me, for like, given it was a kind of celebration thing. And then on the boat, I was going to have some of Connie's gin, and then we left the mixer in my pannier on my bike, locked up, tied to a lamppost. But I did end up having literally just a small glass of white and a small glass of red. That's all. On the boat, and that's literally, honestly, that's nothing. So I feel like I'm not myself because I'm not even enjoying what I'd normally enjoy something like that so much. I'd have a right good drink, you know, in an enjoyable way because I enjoy it. And yeah, and I don't know if it's just the stress at the moment, and I thought, is this just, you know, like ongoing depression that's bringing me down at the moment? I'm not enjoying stuff I'd normally enjoy, or is it tied up a bit with energy levels? I cannot. I mean, obviously, when I was... Oh, that's noisy. F is that? Can we see? Oh, some kind of vehicle in the sky. So, yeah, obviously in my 20s, I could go out, have most of the night, have 2 hours sleep, and then go into work the next day and do overtime, and I'd be tired, but I'd manage it, you know, I'd do it. But now, Jesus H, I can only do one day. I can do one day, and then I need like a full-on number of days break, ideally an entire day in bed the next day. So to have so we had also Bournemouth on the Sunday and Monday, and then I went sourcing and stuff in between that and the picnic. I didn't have enough of a energy refuel for me. I feel like I can only do one day at the moment. I can do one day, and I need a big old break in between. So I'm starting to wonder if my mental health is a lot tied up with energy levels, to be honest. And that also could be tied up, sorry if this is a bit waffles, that could also be tied up with perimenopause, because obviously sometimes I know this isn't just normal tiredness, this is like fatigue, when you feel like if you're going through perimenopause, you feel like your body's being dragged close to the ground. It's a really different kind of lack of energy, not just tiredness. So how do we summarise that? What's going on with mental health? Who knows? That's all I can say. I have no idea, but I feel like I was rested yesterday and I'm able to chat to you and give you an update. I've been trying to think about the future and not dwell on the past. It's a real skill, that. I'm trying anyway. Right, so reselling update. Hang on a sec. Trying to change hands, getting Armic. Oh, God, live. Right, so reselling update. I'm a bit close now. Oh, well. So people that have been following me for a while know about my reselling and my habits and requirements for change and getting bored. This will come as no surprise. I'm getting bored. I'm getting the itch again to change things up. Oh, God, live. Getting bored of doing clothing. I like some clothing. I enjoy clothing. I love a bit of style on people, so I like picking stuff up that's a bit more interesting. I generally pick up stuff that I enjoy anyway. However, last week, oh, that's right, I did a posh show. I did jewellery. I thought, okay, I've still got a lot of jewellery. Let's try and sell some through. And I was like, oh, enjoyed that. Oh, here we go. Like, what if I did a bit of jewellery? And now I'm thinking, what if I just do jewellery on posh? And then I can still do like clothing. And also I've started going to the boot. Well, I've done 2 in a row. God, what's that? Oh no, it's just the wind. I've been picking up, I know it's probably not what you're meant to do if you're a professional reseller. I've been picking up all sorts at the boots. I've been loving it. Lampshades, a Bible, soft toys. I bought some lovely cotton like block print bed topper things. I might put them on posh. It depends if I start to get things moving on the flat, then I might put, because I know that people like a bit of homeware and they're really nice prints. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, so now I'm like, oh. Also, I guess it's not helped that when I've been sourcing, it's been dry as the Sahara, and I've really been struggling to find decent clothing that's got a profit margin in it that's viable, because where I go is expensive, relatively, and it's got to work from a business sense, otherwise we won't have any food. So, gosh, I don't know if I'm being mental, but anyway, I've been in touch with my jewellery guy. He's going to let me know when he can come round with his wares. So like secondhand wares, vintage. He's, he buys at auction, but he buys directly a lot because he's the jewellery guy. He, does, the antiques fairs, boots, but people sell to him, so he has a really nice range of goodies, and he's very reasonable. He does me a good deal, so he'll come round, and because at first I just thought, just sell through what you've got. That's all you need to do. And I've got the taste for it again. I'm like, it'd be nice to buy some new bits. But obviously we've still got the issue with posh that it's, oh yeah, I need to talk about live selling actually, that it's still in its infancy. So at the moment, I've spoken about this before. So this is a posh chat. Everybody wants a bargain. I want a bargain. I want people to feel like they've got a good price as well and got a bargain. However, it's obviously it's still got to be viable. So, and something I've discovered as well with jewelry, when I sold online, it's like people know their rings, generally know their finger sizes more. Live reselling, the rings, mind you, I can't do the rings as cheap either because I can't, there's more silver involved, I can't get them as cheap. So I don't know if it's that people don't want to buy rings because they don't know their finger sizes. I don't know what you say, ring sizes, or because I have to start the price at slightly more. But the rings have been less popular than I sold a fair amount of sterling silver earrings on the last show, and they were quite popular. And I was like, okay, it's just because I had some. So that's interesting because that was not as popular selling like on a buy it now on a on eBay or whatever. Things are always different platforms, different things sell better, but I don't know the reason for that yet. So this is the other thing. So I want to start stuff at a lower price as well, but obviously if you've got 20 or 30 people in your live, then you're much less likely to, with an auction, for a couple of people to bid against each other in it to go to a price that's viable. So do you start the auction at a price that's viable, but then that's less encouraging for someone to put in a bid? So it's tricky with trying to work that out at the moment on Posh. Everybody's having that dilemma. And so the interesting thing, I watched a Chris Daly refinement. Oh no, was it through? It might have been Mel back from Burnout doing she did a behind the scenes of Whatnot with Chris Daly Refinement when she was visiting there. These are, if you don't know about these are YouTubers, reselling YouTubers, one from the US, one from Australia. Anyway, Mel did a behind the scenes of Chris's setup of live selling on Whatnot in the US, and something he said struck a chord with me. I mean, the reason his live selling works so well is because he has a massive following. And so people are buying because they want to buy from, well, not just because of his following, but he gives people outstanding deals. He can bulk buy, get stuff very cheap, and he sells it very cheap. And I thought, well, that's interesting because he's still selling it very cheap. He said he is borderline wholesaling, but not wholesaling. So he said probably, I don't know if he said half and half, but he said there is a mix of buyers buying from him on a live selling site, of resellers and end users. I don't know if he said it's like half and half, and I thought, well, that's interesting because we've all been saying with Posh, we need more end users, not just resellers. But I'm like, so that's interesting. I think and he starts stuff off cheap, and he said he said probably none of his are loss leaders because he gets it so cheap because he bulk buys. But he does give away a lot of stuff as well, so obviously that's a loss leader. I think everybody knows what a loss leader is, do they? Like where you sort of make no money on something, or it costs you money, but you do it as an expense to encourage sales. So it's got me thinking about maybe live selling is a different business model to putting something as a buy it now on a selling platform like eBay or Vera or wherever, where you put it on, you take a lot of time over photos and descriptions, and you put it on for a price, and then it might sit there for quite a while before it sells, and you get quite a decent profit margin. But maybe the strategy with live selling is stack 'em high, sell 'em cheap, which means you need to be able to bulk buy and you need to be able to buy it cheap. And it's a completely different business model, because that's the other thing with a posh show, you can do up to 50 items. So that's really got the cogs going. Yeah. So then the next question is, how do you get to bulk buy? And I wouldn't want to do like bulk buying from, China type jewelry. I want vintage or, pre-loved